Welcome to Birdistan. Today I'm going to describe greater flamingo. I'm very excited that I'm going to talk about this special bird. I know it is most probably special for you too because of the way it looks. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks amazing. It looks enormous. It is big and it is one of the most desired birds that I have known. By all, not just me. I desire most of the birds. I like them all. There is no discrimination, at least here. But greater flamingo definitely, fascinates a lot of people, whether it is young children to adults to elderly. Everybody likes to have a look at them because of the way they look, because of the location that they are found in, them being busy when you look at them. All of these things definitely interest and intrigue people a lot. For all of you who are coming here to know more about greater flamingo, most probably will know greater flamingo is one of the flamingos. Apart from greater flamingo, there are other flamingo species also there around in the world. There are 5 to 6 more other varieties or other species of flamingos that are found in the world. Greater flamingo is one of them. Those of you who do not know that there are different flamingos found, you can do more research on that, and you will be very happy to know that there are many other flamingos or species of flamingos that are found. Now, greater flamingo, called greater because it is the largest among all of these other species. Other species can be, are known as lesser flamingos, Caribbean or American flamingos, James flamingos, also Chilean flamingo, and I think I'm missing one more. I think just not coming right now. Or maybe I'm done with them. So these are the flamingos that we find, and greater flamingo being the largest among all of these. Greater flamingo also has largest distribution range among all the other flamingos. Other flamingos can be only found in a particular area, like their name suggests, the Chilean or the Caribbean. They are only found in those areas, but greater flamingos are found in larger distribution range. Now, how do you know that greater flamingo, how is it different from the other ones, from the lesser, from the James, from the Caribbean or the Chilean? Basically, you have to start, if you are a completely new person and you do not know how to identify flamingos or how to differentiate among them, the best tip, that is my tip, and I start like that. I start with the bill. So the greater flamingo's bill is not like any other one. It's completely distinct, so you cannot confuse. Plumage and the body shape and everything else looks similar. The neck also, long neck of flamingos, their head, they all look similar. But what's different? There are small details that are different. So in greater flamingo, the bill is pink mainly, and then the tip of the bent tip that we see of the flamingo is black in color. So pink with black, only two colors are only found in greater flamingos. Other flamingos, the color combinations will be slightly different. It's not going to be that way varied, but this one will always have pink, major portion of the bill, and then after the bend there will be black color towards the tip. So that's the bill. That is how you describe it, and that is what you look at when you want to spot and you want to identify for sure what is a greater flamingo, because in India we also have lesser flamingos that are found, also visit here during the winters along with greater flamingos, and most times people don't know which one they are looking at. A lot of times people who are promoting these tours and promoting for the travel and attracting people to come and visit these places, they also cannot differentiate between lesser and greater, and sometimes they put wrong pictures in their promotions. Flamingos being very popular for travel brochures, for hotels, wherever they come to promote their property or their retreat center, because of the flamingos visiting. It adds a special feature to all of these places, all of these businesses. So it has a lot of commercial value as well. Flamingos being around can add so much commercial value to the place, to the tourism, to the travel, for sure. So greater flamingo's bill, pink and black. The neck will be pinkish and whitish. It can glow pretty much white, even though it will be pink because of the sun. reflecting to against it, then the plumage of the greater flamingo will be, majority of it will be white with pink color sneaking out in the wing coverts. So you will see pink and white both colors. When it is in flight though, it will have primaries and the secondaries, that are the edges of the wings, will look black in color. Now do not confuse between the greater and the lesser, because people think, okay, that may be the difference. No, that's not. You will have to look at the bill to differentiate between them. So even the greater one looks, when it is in flight, has black color in the primaries and the secondaries. So this is the plumage of it. The legs of the greater flamingo is entirely pink with webbed feet. Once it is fully grown, an adult, fully grown adult, will have pink color legs, and the plumage that I described, white and pink, vibrant pink, that is glowing outside, literally. The reason why the color pink comes on flamingos is very simple. Because of the food, or because of the feed they eat all the time. They are mostly found in saline water, and the organisms that are found in the algae or in the ponds where they feed is the reason why they have this pink glow in their feathers. Sometimes you will find certain flamingos don't have as much pink, or they are looking paler, they are looking brownish or dull white, and they aren't really looking pink. They don't have anything pink in their body. They are not flamingos, they are also flamingos, but maybe because they are not as healthy at that time, or maybe because they are feeding their young ones. And during these two periods, whether if they are sick or not getting enough nutrition, or when they are feeding their young ones, their colors can be dull. So they may lack the pink color, vibrant pink color that comes to their feathers. Actually, the pink color is enhanced by there is a gland in the dorsal area, that is when. So this dorsal gland that many birds use, it's not only unique to flamingos. What flamingos do is they pull out oil from there. It's a secreted substance that birds have for protection against water. So all birds like to use it, and that maintains their shine and keeps them waxy basically. So this oil is called urophygeal or uropygial, whichever way you want to pronounce it, and they remove it and they apply it on their wings. So it gives them rich pink color throughout. It's also like makeup, applying makeup for themselves. During breeding season, during mating season, they like to look their best. So they apply a lot of it. They want to look good and they want to mate with their partners. So during mating season, breeding season, they look more vibrant than other times. And that is also the case for many other bird species as well. All birds, especially the male ones, want to look their best because they want to attract female partner. Wherever the equation goes male to female, or the male has to do more work in attracting, they look their best during the mating season. So this is how you can describe, this is how you know how to know a greater flamingo and how to differentiate greater flamingo from other species of flamingos. And now I will be discussing about how they sound, what their breeding season or what their rituals are like, what their nest building is like, and other details as well, threats if there are any, and so on. If you may be wondering, after knowing so much about the physical description of the greater flamingo, how does it sound, or is it something special? Sorry to disappoint you. It's not that great. It's the nasal honk that you also hear in geese while the geese are feeding, or while the geese are also in flight formations. They communicate with each other and they have these loud nasal honks that they make. Similar to that, even greater flamingos also have very, very similar sound. It can be really loud, and especially during flights when they want to be heard by all members who are part of the formation. They want to be heard by one and all, and at that time it can be super loud. So it is only nasal honks, nothing else. That is the sound that they make. Sometimes when they are in their feeding grounds as well, they make these sounds during breeding and during nesting season also. You hear these sounds commonly. But mainly during the flights they make these sounds to communicate with each other, and that time it can be very, very loud. That is how they sound. Usual habitat for greater flamingo is almost the same as other flamingos. It is alkaline water, it is warm water, preferred, and salty, really salty water. That is what they like to stay in. That is what gives them the color. The carotenoid rich water, that's what they are looking for. So the usual habitat of greater flamingo is warm salty water. Delta regions are preferred, so they are mainly found when they migrate also to India. They are found in delta regions, wherever delta region is there, in saline or alkaline waters. Alkaline lakes provide them perfect habitat and feeding ground, and also to get the pink color that they get. Shallow coastal lagoons also, mud flats consisting high levels of salt, are a great choice for flamingos, greater flamingos. Although they can swim very well, but we don't see them swimming, and we only see them in shallow waters. So they are good swimmers, but people have not witnessed that, but they have seen them only standing in water and feeding and spending a lot of time. So because they are in the mud flats and they cannot really swim. Now in the countries that they are found is Indian subcontinent, Northern Africa, Southern Europe. These are the locations that they can be found easily, and the main reason being these are the places which are temperate. They are not very cold. They tend to migrate because of colder weather, and because they need to breed and they need to make nest. So because of that they migrate to India as well as to southern regions. They are found after India. When they go back, they are found in Portugal and Spain. They also are found in big numbers in southern Germany. These are some of the places that they are found very easily. So their distribution range seems to be the largest among all other species of flamingos. This bird is truly amazing, fascinating, something that is so mysterious and so amazing. Very late people have started videographing how does greater flamingo, or how do flamingos eat, because that is something again another feature that is unique about flamingos. Because of their odd bill shape, how do they eat? What exactly are they eating? You've not seen them catching other birds or flies when they are, standing up. They are mostly putting their heads, dipping their heads in the water and doing something. So in certain zoos now, they have installed cameras underwater to see what exactly is happening when they put their heads inside, when they duck it in. What do they do? What is found is their mandibles, the upper mandible and lower mandible. The lower mandible goes down because it has a pen, and then it filters the water and it looks for small shrimps, plankton, tiny fish, larvae, algae. All of these things it tries to filter and take in the mouth, and then after that the upper bill is like a flap. So it can open like that and close like that. So it works like this. Most birds have a stuck bill, so it does not really work like a flap. It can open and close, but it does not have a flap like positioning. But flamingos have this flap like system in the upper mandible, and the lower mandible being the larger one, it acts like a filter or like a sieve, where they put it in the water. They try to shift all the food and then take it and eat it. So that is how they eat. Also, this algae that they eat is rich in carotenoid. It's one of the organisms that is found in the water that they live in, and because of that, if I didn't mention it earlier, they get the pink color in their body. So the pink color comes only and only because of the food that they are eating, what they are feeding in, and the water that is used for their breeding ground. So the water is rich in alkaline, rich in salt, and carotenoid is found in the water. Because of that, they get the pink color in their body. And pink also signifies their health, because if it is rich, the water quality, then they will get the pinkness in the body. If you were already so bowled over by the way greater flamingos eat, you could be so amazed to know the nests that they make. Now, these nests are not normal nests. When we think about birds, we think birds will have all the hay and straws and sticks and twigs for a nest. Even painted storks and the spot-billed pelican, all of these people also have those normal nests. But greater flamingo has something different. It has a sandy mound that it uses for its nest. So wherever their breeding ground is, in the same location they will make a sandy mound, like a bathtub, small bathtub with an oval shape to it. It will have a hole in the middle, or hollowness in the center, and then they sit on top of it and they incubate the eggs. So their nest looks good. Where the breeding ground is, when you see, they have plenty, just like you see them in large numbers, hundreds and hundreds at once. The same way, when the breeding season is going on, they have these nest after nest all over the place. It's filled with nests. The shallow water or the mud flat is filled with nests, and these nests are all made of sand. The sand has become solid, so it's holding up well, and it is built by them beautifully, good shape to it. They all sit in it to incubate the eggs. Male and female both will incubate the eggs of a flamingo, and only one egg, it's not eggs, but it's only one egg is laid by the female. The egg looks chalky white, and its size is pretty big, so it can be anywhere more than 5 centimeters. So the egg is pretty large, just like the nest is. The egg is large, and it weighs between 115 to 140 grams. So that's quite a heavy egg, just an egg. And this egg is taken care of very well by both parents, male and female. They get so tired of incubating the egg that sometimes they get up, they stretch, they preen, they do different exercises to keep themselves again healthy enough to keep on doing the incubation, because the incubation is a tedious long period of 27 to 31 days. So almost one entire month it takes for them to incubate their egg. And there is another interesting thing about flamingos. It's not very common in other birds or other animals, but this bird is truly filled with mysteries and fascinating facts. They feed their young ones red color substance that they bring out. They regurgitate a liquid that looks red. Now this red color, some people think it is blood that they are feeding. They are regurgitating blood from from the stomach and getting it up. It's not that. The stomach area for birds is called crop, and what they bring out is the food that they are eating. It turns red, the algae, red or blue algae they eat, and when they regurgitate it, it looks red. So it's called a crop milk. This milk is fed to their young ones. So they regurgitate this milk, which is from their crop or their stomach, and they bring it out and they feed it to their young ones. Because of this reason, their color is lost during feeding. And it's not just female who will do this, it's also the male who will feed the young one or the hatchling. So male and the female both equally take care of the chick, and they also both feed the young one. After such a long wait of the incubation period, the chick gets out of the nest pretty quickly. So this time is not much. It's only 4 to 7 days it takes for the chick to be out and about of the nest. It comes out on the sand and starts communicating, starts socializing with other chicks as well. But flamingos are pretty smart, more than we think. The parents are so smart that they know how to differentiate between their chick and the other chicks. So they recognize their chicks because of their voice, and they generally know. So they are never taking care of another flamingo's chick, because you can get confused, or you may think birds get confused, but they know pretty well who their chick is and who they are taking care of. So they specifically take care of their own chick and not others. Now this food, the milk that was given by the parents to the chick, that also gets stored in the liver, and this same milk will give the pink color to this young adult chick when it grows up. And it takes about 2 to 3 years for the young ones to become adults. So they take about 2 to 3 years literally to turn into adults, while the chick will change its plumage color and its hatchling color, which is brownish and grayish, and legs are black, not like the adult flamingo. That process starts anywhere after 3 months. So after 3 months it starts developing more like the flamingo plumage and everything, but it turning into an adult happens between 2nd and 3rd year. So it takes a good amount of time to get started, and all the processes are slow because its lifespan also is pretty long. An average lifespan of greater flamingo could be between 30 to 40 years, and that explains why the chick takes its own sweet time in developing and growing up bigger. A certain zoo had recorded a flamingo that was more than 60 years old. There was also a zoo, or in the past there was a recording of a flamingo that lived up to 83 years. So they can live that long. That explains all this process being so carefully planned and so beautifully going, slowly going. Everything is planned in advance. Threats and conservation status of greater flamingo. When it comes to threats, you looking at this enormous big bird, you would have to really think who all can trouble it. So apart from habitat loss and apart from encroachment into the areas where their breeding grounds are, these are actually major problems with flamingos, because they don't get secluded, safe, suitable breeding grounds and nesting places, which is becoming a major problem around the world because of human encroachments into those areas as well. They need those places to be reserved, and the environment ministries of all those countries where flamingos visit and flamingos are found, they should make sure that there is no possible encroachment into these breeding grounds of flamingos. That can be easily done, and one thing can be completely out of the picture. So at least flamingos have enough space for themselves. Now, apart from this, for their population, there are not too many threats that actually are posed by nature. Because other birds of prey don't really attack the old ones or the adults, but their young ones or the eggs are at high risk. And eggs are at risk by several other birds that try to attack or take the eggs. And one of the major threats to the eggs of flamingos is yellow-legged gulls. So because their habitat is very common, yellow-legged gulls are known to damage flamingo eggs by 50%. The 50% is not the amount of eggs that is going, 50% of the total damage that is done by all the other factors and all the other birds. Yellow-legged gull is 50% responsible for doing half of the damage that it is doing. So yellow-legged gull can be a menace to the eggs and the young ones of the greater flamingos. Apart from that, I think it's just common sense. It's just thinking in terms of future and conservation, and not encroaching the breeding grounds of flamingos would just do a great service to the population, and the population is doing well. So there is no problem.